Previewing Week 11 in the NFL here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and right now we're talking with Stephen O, an NFL handicapper from AccuScore.com, who gave us another winner last week, which now puts him at like 4 or 5 in a row or something like that. It's been months. Stephen O, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me again.
What is this now? Like, what's your record on the year with us? Like 6-1, like 7-2, something like that?
I
It's
think
great.
I started 2-2. I think I've hit every single one after that. Maybe there's a push somewhere along the way. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited. I realized looking back at it, all my picks were often the ones that required the least amount of analysis. Like, just look at the really simple, basic first-level numbers. The story was just there, and I've been benefiting from not overthinking things.
God, it's so true. It's so true. I found that in my own capping as well. But all right, so let's talk about the. Well, actually, first before we start to pitch the AccuScore, what is it? The discount that you're.
Yeah, just the coupon code. Yes. Go to AccuScore.com, enter capital S, capital B, capital R. You get 25% off any of our packages.
Unbelievable. All right, well, you're having a great year, Stephen O. Let's see what you have to say about this week. Packers at Lions. You know, the Packers are off of bye. They're only a 3.5-point road favorite. So at first glance, this just looks like, the Packers minus 3.5 is a great bet. And that's your pick. Thanks for doing this call with us. And we'll talk to you next week.
Exactly. I mean, that's it. Let's keep it simple. Everyone knows by now Detroit, the offense just isn't what it was. And it's actually the same as it always has been against quality opponents. If you look at 2011 against playoff teams, including their playoff game, and if you look at this year's schedule versus 5 games versus teams that actually had winning records, they only covered a 3.5-point spread twice out of the 11 games. If you remove the one game where they blew out Denver last year, the Tebow's second game, I think, when they won 45-10, the average score was Detroit 21, quality opponent 29. So, all the numbers of Detroit's performance versus good opponents is a 29-21, like an 8-point underdog situation. Now they're at home, which knocks a few points off there, and Green Bay's got some key injuries, which knocks a couple more points, which brings it down to 3.5 in Vegas' the odds makers lines. But I think most people are gonna, expect Green Bay to win by 5 or more, which is what AccuScore has.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of, this year there have been a lot of like 3.5-point road favorites that the public has been all over, and the sharps haven't really taken the other side, and the books have just gotten killed with with those kinds of games, and this has that written all over it. So I guess the question is.
Yeah, our live odds product that we have on AccuScore, our new one this year, has 90% of people on Green Bay.
Yeah.
So again, the action can be a bit weighted, but the Packers, besides their offense not clicking, and Calvin Johnson and Matt Stafford on pace for half as many touchdowns as last year. Opposing quarterbacks versus the Lions are completing a high percentage, around 66%. They have nearly a 3-to-1 TD to INT ratio. So you got this the quarterbacks have been very efficient and effective against the Lions, and now you have Aaron Rodgers, the ultimate, effective yet efficient quarterback, and so I think he'll really torch him.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to wonder why this line wasn't set at like, let's say 6.5 or something like that.
I think Clay Matthews is probably out, I think. And and I think that people are just waiting for Detroit to have that explosion, but they did that already. They had two in the week, week 8 and 9 when they scored 30 plus. I think that what we see is, don't get caught up in, they got to turn around. I agree. Just stick with Green Bay at 3.5. I do think get the bet in early because, the lines can change to 5, 4, as much as 5 by game time.
Yeah, the books are loath to move these kind of numbers, though, because then they expose themselves to a middle, which is where they can really get burned. But this has sportsbook burial written all over it once again, and you've tipped us off to a few of these in recent weeks, and I think you got another one here. Thanks so much. Once again, Stephen O from AccuScore.com. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you very much.